Alright guys, so this is a segment I have not done in a long time. This segment is called Characters I Like and Hate, where I talk about one character I really like, and one character I either hate, or just do not care for, or I have reasons why not to like him. Or her. So, let's talk, I'm gonna go Avatar on this one. I'm gonna go all Avatar, talking about two characters, one from Avatar The Last Airbender, and the other one from Legend of Korra, kicking things off with Zuko. Now, Zuko, why I like Zuko. Here's the reasons why. He is probably one of the best developed characters I've seen in an animated show in a long time. His story alone was amazing. Now, here we have a guy throughout the majority of the first season was pretty much cast as the villain, but he was kind of like the tragic villain. And then through season 2, which still remains my favorite season of the 3 shows, I mean, okay, granted, yes, Melina and I did kind of rip into all 3 series, but I think we were trying to say this was a good show, we loved it, but we just ended up nitpicking, and I'm rambling, and we just kind of lost sight of it. But anyway, getting back to Zuko. Now, Zuko, reason why he's a cool character, like I said, he was a tragic villain. You really felt sorry for this character. I've hardly felt sorry for characters, no matter how tragic their past was, until I got around to seeing Zuko at a young age. And when you see Zuko and how he is, the reason why, and why he's the way he is pretty much like, you can understand why he wants to do this. Not for, like, revenge or anything, it's because he wants his father's love back, you know? He wants to be treated, you know, with honor and respect. And in season 2, we got to see he saw the world literally in black and white. That was pretty much how he viewed the world. Capture the Avatar, get my honor back, woo, Fire Nation. He didn't care about the other care about the other nations. He never cared about, you know, the plague of the Earth Kingdom, or the water tribes, or the extinction of the air nomads. He always thought, and it was always told in his head, you know, Fire Nation good. We're the good guys, no matter what. So, when it got to season 2, this is where he really saw the world in gray. You know, he really got to see, from his meeting with the character Song, who showed him his burns and tended to his uncle after that whole poison leaf thing. And even in his time in Ba Sing Se, that's where you really got to see him grow. I mean, okay, true, yes. He basically was trying to still fulfill his whole family honor thing, but it was also because he was on the run. And this is where we really got to see, especially in Zuko alone, I think Zuko had a lot of merit to getting his own episode, and that episode proved that we got to see more of his backstory. We got to see his rivalry with his roots with the distrust with his father, as well as his rivalry with Azula kind of started, and where it took place. And also, you know, we got to see also that this guy wasn't a bad guy, and he was starting to see that the Fire Nation wasn't as he was always told it was to be. And in Season 3, this is where I have a problem with Season 3 and the end of Season 2. See, end of Season 2, we get all this amazing story, and Zuko pretty much getting slapped in the face saying, hey, you've been rooting for the bad guys the whole time, and you have this opportunity, and Katara gave him this opportunity to pretty much be like, you know, you can be redeemed, you can get your face healed, and all that. But instead, like, Azula just tells him, you know, help me capture the Avatar and you'll be back. You know, everything will be fine. Really? And then it's funny too, at the end, in that episode of the end of Season 2, where Zuko betrayed everyone, and they had this epic, I mean, it's one of my favorite fights throughout the entire series of Avatar, where Zuko and Azula fought Katara and Aang. That was probably one of the coolest fights ever. But when he turned on Katara and Aang, I actually shouted at the TV screen, really? Really? I hardly shout at the TV screen, but when I do, I have good merit for it, and that was one of it. So basically, you get to Season 3, and he pretty much relearns everything that he pretty much knew about throughout the first season. I mean, he was pretty much like, oh yeah, I've got my family honor back, but what's it worth, really? And I was like, really? You learned all this in Season 2? snap back out of it, and in doing so, he kind of does. Yeah, of course, we all know the story. He turns his back on his father and joins with with Team Avatar, or whatever you want to call them. And pretty much, and this is what's funny, I always laugh, and I call these a series of episodes the Zuko, Brave and the Bold episodes, because it's pretty much Zuko teaming up with one character each of Team Avatar, even Toph at the end of the series, but it wasn't really much of an adventure. But yeah, even those episodes, we really got to see Zuko be his own character, and even be, like, in fact, one of the best episodes of the Zuko, Brave and the Bold episodes was that episode where he actually helped Katara find her mother's killer, and he knew the whole time she wasn't going to do it, but he showed her basically through, without doing anything, without saying anything, he basically helped her find her mother's killer, and he knew that she wasn't going to do it. He was just like, she's going to learn for herself. I don't need to tell her anything. So, I think that was pretty smart. That was actually a very intelligent thing, and of course he became Fire Lord, best friends with Aang, and now we have no idea where he is. But apparently we'll see him in Legend of Korra Season 2. But other than that, yeah, I've always said Zuko's probably one of the most developed characters I've seen in a long time, in not just animated shows, but in anywhere. I'm not trying to sound biased, it's just my general opinion, and a lot of people have this general view of it as well, of Zuko's character development. Yeah, it gets kind of retracted a bit in Season 3, just a tad, but it corrects itself. I'll give it that, it corrects itself. And among that, he's just really cool. I mean, he has this really dry, sarcastic humor, and, amazing firebender. The only thing I wish they did at the end of the series was Zuko defeating Azula. That was the only thing I had a problem with at the series. Well, one of the few things I had a problem with at the end of the series was Zuko did not defeat... technically, he did not defeat Azula. I really wish, even though... here's the other thing. I really wish Azula didn't have that mental breakdown. Just so when Zuko beat her, it'd be that much gratifying, because here's the one person that's always been one step ahead of him his whole life, and wouldn't it just be gratifying for him, and as us as the audience, to see him show off how much he's trained, and not just be like Katara saves him and and Azula had a mental breakdown. So wouldn't it just be I've always said, it would be a lot more gratifying if we saw Zuko take down Azula by himself, and Katara just helping out, but not being the one who defeats Azula. But other than that, yeah, that was the other thing I really wanted to bring up. But other than that, let's move on now to the character from Legend of Korra, and you all know who that is. Yes, I do not care much for Mako. Now, before I go any further, allow me to say this. If you're a fan of the character of Mako, or the pairing Makora, I bear no ill will against you. I have nothing against that, or the shipping. I'm not that kind of guy who bashes shippings. But I just do not. I personally, if you like the character, that's fine. Everyone, to each his own. I've always said. But if you do not, if you like I said, if you like Mako, it's fine by me. But I personally do not care much for Mako. Here's my reasons why. He is such a bland character. Throughout all 12 episodes, we just see him be like, I've got to save Korra. I'm in love with Korra, but I want to be with Asami. I'm with Korra now. That's how it goes. And you can't say it's 12 episodes. You can't. No, I'm so tired of people defending the series with just 12 episodes. I've seen animes, High School of the Dead, Dead Man Wonderland, all those with just 12 episodes manage to tell an entire story and a whole love story at some points with just 12 episodes. In here, it just felt forced. I mean, here's Mako, who doesn't really have a character much to him, and we don't really see the reasons why he likes Korra other than she's the Avatar and she's cute. That's literally... I've rewatched all 12 episodes, and I was like, what else makes you like this girl, Mako? And that's the thing, it's just like, he likes her because she's the Avatar and she's cute. That's it. That's all I can gather. and she's his teammate. That's about it. Again, I'm not bashing the Makora pairing. If you like it, that's fine. I'm not a Makora shipper. And I'm not big into shipping, but I will show you guys what my ship is, because I love it because it's so ridiculous. Anywho, yeah, like I said, he's just bland. And the other thing is, when Asami comes in, now this is the thing, I've always said, Asami could have been a great character, and Avatar is notorious for, the Avatar series is one of the best things they're known for is these strong female characters, like Toph, Katara, Azula, Ty Lee, and Mei in some aspects. Even Lin Beifong was a very strong character. But regarding Asami, she was just there to play this love triangle that didn't go anywhere, but just make a bunch of people facepalm. And the sad part is, she could have been a very amazing character, but she was just there to be the love interest to Mako. That's it. And technically, we didn't even see him really care much for Asami to begin with, and that was my biggest problem. Like I said, when I did a video called Where's the Love Stop, and I think I took that video down because I was deleting old vids, but, like I said in there, when your character openly says in the show, "What's my purpose now?" there's something wrong. There is seriously something wrong. And other than that, I really feel like Mako is just there to make some kind of pseudo-Zutarian pairing come to life. That's a theory that a lot of people, even Makora fans, have noted, that it's Zutara light. I've spoken to several people who support Makora, and it's like, oh yeah, it's Zutara light. But like I said, not hating. But among that, the other thing was, Mako was supposed to be this great leader in the team, but I felt like that was more like Bo Lin's job. He was the one keeping the team's morale together. Mako was just there to, be the pretty face. And when the time came, I really feel like it was very contrived when he helped defeat Amon. Like, oh, no one's resisted my bloodbending. Again, this is another scene where I was like, instead of saying really, I facepalmed and said, God damn it. Because it really did feel so freaking contrived. And in the end, again, all of his lines towards the end was just kind of cheesy. And again, there wasn't much character to him. Now, from what I've seen of Season 2, however, my opinion is up for change, because they're going to make I think, from what I saw of a trailer from Comic-Con, some little test footage, we see Mako going out and not being just pro-bending, but doing stuff to protect Republic City itself. So, maybe my opinion will change. This is just all Season 1, so when Season 2 rolls around, maybe my opinion on Mako will change. Maybe they'll brighten up the characters, because even, it's funny too, because I was looking at some footage on YouTube of the Legend of Korra panel, and they were reading off some lines, the voice actors were, and everyone in the you could see everyone's faces in the crowd just looking so dejected, and they were just flat out bored when it came to the Mako lines. And you could see on the voice actress who does Korra's voice have this look of, do we really need these two together? But again, Season 2 might change my opinion. Trust me, I've had my opinions change on characters before, and it wouldn't be the last. So I'm keeping an open mind, but for right now, Mako is not on my favorites list of characters on Avatar: Legend of Korra. But like I said, if you like Mako, that's fine. And again, my opinion might change in Season 2, but for right now, he's just there. Now, you're all dying to wonder, if I don't ship Makora, what do I ship? Well, here it is. You ready? You really want to know? You really want to get your mind blown? Well, check this out. Yeah! Let that sink in. Amora for life!